Welcome back to Assback Sports. We did our live stream for the NFL draft, and I know that no one else was on there, but it was still a lot of fun. We had fun reacting to everything in the moment, and this is going to be our NFL draft breakdown. We're going to go over all 32 picks in the first round, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about like the Panthers and the Lions draft class. So, because those are the two that we're obviously going to be paying more attention to. And maybe, we'll go over some other like interesting picks too that might have happened in the second or third round, something like that too, because there was a lot of crazy picks, even all the way to the fifth round. If you guys even watch the draft or pay attention to the NFL, you know what happened in the fifth round. And we can talk about that as well. And you talk about why that might have happened. I'm the Commish and this is G. So we're going to go over the first 32 picks here, starting with Cam Ward to the Titans.
Well, we were going to watch the draft anyway, no matter what. So we live streamed it even though nobody watched, except for our boy Kyle, But, but we were going to watch it regardless. So why not just, I can't be at your house anyway. So the only way to do it is on the computer. So.
Yeah, I had fun watching it with you, man. I mean, it was something that we've always kind of done, and since we are across the country, we can't really do that all the time. So it was a lot of fun, and it was a good draft, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I do want to say this too. I may have not got many of the draft picks right, but I did nail yours.
Yeah, you did.
I fucking nailed it.
You did. You fucking nailed it. And we'll get to that in a minute. I want to give Cam Ward his shout out here. He was the number one pick. He was worthy of that number one pick. He's the best quarterback in this class. He clawed his way from a 0-star recruit all the way to the number one pick. So he's got toughness. He's got resolve. He went to get better. That was the thing is I think that when you start at such a low position and you come to this far, the thing I love about it is like you improved. It wasn't just that like you tried really hard and you put up stats that didn't mean anything. Like you improved as a passer. You improved as a player. You improved as a quarterback. Like everything about him got better over the years, and I think that will just continue to happen. And so at the very least, I think he has a really high floor. Like he's not going to be a bad quarterback. If anything, I'm thinking, something like an Andy Dalton. And I mean, people would take Andy Dalton all day. He made it to the playoffs, like I don't know how many years in a row when he was in Cincinnati. He was a good quarterback. So I think that's like worst case scenario for him, honestly.
Yeah, that's the floor.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think the Titans would love to have an Andy Dalton level quarterback. Like Andy Dalton is a prime level quarterback.
I would say his floor to me would be like a Tua.
And that's not a bad floor either. Tua's thrown for 4,000 yards. Even
he's played good. If it weren't for concussions, he'd be doing pretty good, I think. So.
Yeah, if he didn't have all these injuries.
A good quarterback.
Yeah, he's still a good quarterback.
I personally don't think he was the best in the draft, but I mean, still a great quarterback, great pick. Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna. He might have been.
I think I know who you think is the best quarterback in the draft, and it's not going to be who people think it is either. If I've been saying this, and oh man, I know you have, and you could turn out to be right. I mean, the biggest thing. We'll get into that. I don't want to get into that yet, but yeah, I think Cam Ward.
But I mean, he still deserves. Still a great pick.
Yeah, still a great pick. Exactly.
Yeah, I still like the pick. I understand the pick. It makes sense. So
I think that they were hoping that Will Levis would kind of get to be to that level, like an Andy Dalton level, and he just turned out to not be even close to that. So, you got to see what you can get in, and it happens all the time. Like we've seen this happen a million times. We're going to see it happen more now, I think, than anything. Is if you draft a quarterback in the second round or something like that, and you tab them to be your starter, and they don't turn out to be that good, and you end up with a top 5 pick, you're probably going to go quarterback again, just because if that second round pick isn't that good at that point, and you have decent enough weapons around them, I guess, then because there's always, that's the thing too, is a lot of the times if you're going early in the second round, you're probably not going to a great team. Sometimes they might trade up and get them or something like that, but they're not always. It's the same thing with the first overall. The Titans aren't a great team. They've improved a lot in the draft. We'll get, I mean, they adding Cam Ward, we talked about in our episode. I said I think Cam Ward brings a great floor just to their offense anyway, because he adds a little bit rushing. Like he's not gonna do it all the time, but he can do that. And I think having players that can add anything to offense is exactly what they need.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's another weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what he can be mobile if he needs to be.
Yeah,
but he's a really good passer, and I like that. I don't want to run first quarterback. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's not my thing. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a good pick. I mean, yeah. Texans definitely needed a quarterback.
Titans.
So they get better. I mean, Titans. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they added a receiver to Chimere Dyke from Florida. He looks to be a deep threat. He had 4.34 speed, averaged 18.6 yards a catch. Dang, yeah. So I mean, this is a replacement for Nick Westbrook-Akine. They're kind of even the same body type too, and they lost him in free agency too.
Dyke,
right? Yeah, they lost Nick Westbrook to the Dolphins, so this is like the direct replacement to that.
They also got Gunnar Helm. I mean, I know he wasn't really like talked about it, but he's tight end.
Oh, okay.
From Texas. I mean, I know he wasn't at like the top of the board, but he was still like, I mean, he got a 72.4 PFF receiving grade.
He broke Texas's single season records for catches and receptions by a tight end in 2024. Long strider with speed to make plays down the seam.
Yeah, so like he's a good pass threat. I mean, he might not be the best blocking tight end, but you're adding to that offense. They also drafted who was it?
Yeah, Eric Ayomanor. Ayomanor.
Alec, I don't know how to say it. Ayomanor.
Yeah. Yeah, and he seems like he's a good receiver too. I mean, he was the 15th ranked receiver, getting him at the 4th round like that. I mean, that's a good pick.
Yeah, he was the highest ranked remaining player on the PFF big board on day 3. So
okay, yeah, I mean,
they got him in round 4?
Yeah, it looks like he has a drop problem. He had 15 over the last 2 seasons, but he tracks the ball well and can make difficult contested catches. That's what ESPN says about him. So it looks like he's a good tactician too. He sticks his foot in the ground and makes crisp cuts at the top of the routes. He works back to the ball, makes it tough for defenders to jump his routes. He gets behind linebackers, sits in windows. So it looks like he's smart. He just needs to work on his hands, which I think is something that's pretty easily fixed. I don't know. I feel like it is now. I feel like back in the day, like if you couldn't catch, like you just couldn't catch, like.
I mean, that's kind of one of the most important parts as a wide receiver. But yeah, I feel like absolutely. You can definitely get better. You can get better. But I mean, if you're technique, you can work on technique.
Yeah, and that might just be what it is. Maybe he's trying to catch it too much with his hands, or catch it too much with his body, or trying to go in. Yeah, exactly.
And then also, since we're talking, I mean, we might as well just go through the team's draft, but. I'm a Michigan boy, but I love the 6th round pick of a 6th round pick.
Yeah, 6th round picks.
Mullins. Yeah, it was Mullins. Yeah, Mullins, running back. Linebacker. Dude, that's a great pick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a ton of experience.
Runner. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was Michigan's lead running back. Like, I mean, he was sharing, but he did some good things. He's a good quarterback. I mean, PFF graded him 88, so just saying.
Nice.
I think he's got a lot of potential. I don't know that he's your day 1 starter, but I mean.
No, I mean, because they have.
I think he's going to be a reliable back.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just taking a shot in the dark at a running back, because nowadays I feel like you can and this draft was high in running back talent too. So getting him in such a late round is probably not the worst thing in the world. The Panthers, drafting people late like that, you're just kind of taking a shot. There's probably one thing he does, he's a bruiser, so he's probably just going to be brought in to do goal line stuff.
I mean,
I'm not saying that's the only thing that he can do, but that might be how he gets on the field in the beginning, he might get on the field for those short yardage plays where they need a yard and they just want to push the ball with that. I mean, Cam Ward can do that too. So that's going to be but him with Cam Ward, that'd be a great combination to get those short yardage. You can do those tush push kind of plays.
I'm trying to find. It was the 6th, wasn't it? That they got him?
Yeah, it was a 6th.
I'm tripping.
No, you're right. Yeah, sixth round, 12th pick of the 6th round.
Oh yeah,
I got it on ESPN right here. He's pre-draft analysis. He's a former linebacker.
yeah, big, powerful runner.
Back.
He runs hard, breaks tackles. Mullins pushes the pile when he doesn't get a seam, and he runs with good patience for a back with limited experience. He makes defenders miss in tight spaces. He didn't run at the combine, but he showed his speed on tape. Past season was a 60-yard touchdown against USC. His pass blocking improved as the year progressed, and but I think he only played like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, and he only fumbled once in the last 3 seasons, so that's great. Like he holds onto the ball good.
Yeah, you give him a couple
big
years.
Dude. 6'2",
he was a linebacker.
Yeah,
he was a linebacker.
That's a big running back. Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm saying. Like you bring him in for like a 1 yard gain, dude. Fucking, he's got that shit.
But that's the thing is like he's actually got the speed. Like
no, I believe it. I mean, I'm just saying like
so I think
he gets on the field early like that.
He could be like he's gonna be a 3rd down running back.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's a great pick. I think the Titans have a lot to improve, and they gave Cam Ward weapons and they gave him options. So he's not going to only have to be the short yardage guy because he can do that. Cam Ward's a big guy too.
Yes.
Cam Ward's 6'2", 219. He's actually almost the exact same size as that running back. That's crazy. The running back's a little bit bigger, 6'2", 226, 6'2", 219. Yeah, they're only 7 pounds different. Yeah, so I mean, those two guys in the backfield, like you're getting a first down.
Yeah, I like that pick. I mean, that's a good last pick. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I expect
I like
it to blossom at some point. Maybe not right away, but at some point.
Yeah, and then I mean, adding to that run game too, they got like a guard from Sacramento State, Jackson Slater, 6'3", 311 pounds. He started 42 games at left guard and 2 at left tackle, so he's experienced on the interior side. Like he, at the very least, like he has that. I like these kind of picks for guards because these are guys that's just like they have a very good foundation and they just need to get like a little bit bigger and stronger. And the NFL can crank these guys out. That's why every once in a while, like we just see this blossom of like late round guards that come out because these guys are just sitting behind like good offensive line coaches and good offensive linemen ahead of them. And they're just learning and refining these things. And then they just come out and it's like, man, where did this late round, like, left guard come from? Oh, this guy started 42 times in college at left guard.
Yeah.
Oh, so he knew what he was doing. Like, I love it. It's a good pick. Good job, Titans. Like, I think that's an A+ draft class.
Good draft.
Yeah.
Is that what they gave
Absolutely.
Them?
I don't know. Let's see.
PFF gave them a. Hold on, I gotta find it again. I was on it, but I changed it. So let's see what PFF gives them.
Mel Kiper gave him a B+. I'm not a big fan.
They gave him an A.
Yeah, I think that's much better.
Yeah, I think that's probably more accurate.
I mean, B+, A is pretty close to each other, but I don't know. I think they
had a really good draft. I don't really.
Well, and we didn't even mention this, but they signed Tyler Lockett this week too.
Yeah.
So like they have receivers. So there's Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett. They got the 2 receivers they drafted.
Good.
Yeah.
They got good running backs now. They got tight end now.
Yep. Yeah, they added to defense, and I think that it looks good. I think they're in a good spot. So let's move on. We spent a lot of time on them. The second pick, it was fireworks, really.
This is the biggest shock of shock of the draft. Really, like people were like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean,
but first, before we get started, I like one thing. Browns, your organization is still a shit show because you could have had 2 really good players. I do like the trade. You got 2 first-round picks next year. I like it.
Yeah.
It's great. But you passed on if Travis Hunter ends up being the superstar that everybody thinks he's going to be, you passed up on a generational talent.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why you
could have gotten 2 generational talents that played with each other. I'm just saying, like,
that could have been a great combination.
I'm just saying. But needless to say, Jacksonville, way to go.
Yeah.
Way to move up. Way to get Travis Hunter.
the young regime there making a move like this is crazy. And, you know, I can understand the pick. You're trading up to see what Trevor Lawrence has, because now he doesn't really have any excuses, because Travis Hunter is going to play both sides of the ball because he said he's going to do it. He said 100%. He will do it or he will retire. He was not going to play so he'll get out there one way or another.
Well, Jacksonville's already said they're going to let him play both.
Good. Yeah, and I'm very curious to see how it goes, because a lot of the stuff that I heard leading up to this was like the best place for him would have been like a more established coaching background and like just culture of a team. You know, the Jaguars change coaches every couple of years at this point. They're kind of turning into like that perennial team that like just changes coaches because they're trying to find the right combination. And no slight to like Liam Cohen. I like the pick of him and everything like that. I don't think he's going to be like this shit show and everything like that. But this coaching staff and GM are very young and inexperienced. And that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, Liam Cohen was a coach's kid. I like him as a head coach. I don't think he's going to be bad at all. But you look at like the experience behind the scenes, and I think that Travis Hunter going there and playing both ways is going to need a lot of experience. So I just wonder if they're going to have people in place to help him along with that, you know, because you just need, because what happens if Liam Cohen doesn't turn out, or that
coach?
I don't know.
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think he's going to have much of a hard. It's not going to be such a big transition for him on the wide receiver side. Like,
yeah, I don't think so either. Travis Hunter he's a smart
easier. Yeah, that's an easier position to come in the NFL as. Cornerback's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So you know that's kind of where I'm looking at it. Like, that depends there. I just think Travis Hunter's good enough that he's going to excel no matter what, because that man's all about football. And even like, say he does have young coaching staff and it's not the greatest coaching, what do you think he's going to do in the off season? I mean, that boy doesn't do nothing but breathe football. He's going to go find somebody to help him, and he's going to get better.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't doubt it from Travis Hunter's standpoint. I just wonder, like, and they have Shane Waldron as their passing game coordinator. He's been around the league for a long time. I like that. I'm trying to look here. So like, that is good. Anthony Campanile, like, and he's a good defensive mind from what I can see. Like, he was with the Packers as the linebackers coach and running game coordinator last year, and this is his 6th season in the NFL. This is his first as a defensive coordinator. I know Tim Lukabu, the linebackers coach, is a good defensive mind. That's linebackers though. Anthony Perkins is the defensive back coach, and the secondary coach is Ron Millis. They look like they have some experience. Let me pull them up here. And I think Bill Sheridan, the senior defensive assistant, has been around for a long time. I'm going to pull him up too. I'm pretty sure I've heard his name a lot. So let's see. Anthony Perkins was the defensive quality control coach for the Packers last year. So it sounds like this is a guy that he brought along with him. He spent 2 seasons as a cornerback coach at Oregon State. So your cornerback coach is really young. This is your defensive back coach. He's young, only a couple years in the league. Ron Millis, the secondary coach, though, is his first season as Jacksonville's secondary coach, but he's been coaching for 34 years.
Okay. So there's some experience in there.
Yeah, in 25 years in the NFL. He was with the Colts for the last 3 seasons, and they ranked 11th in the league with 41 interceptions and tied for 5th in last year with 16 overall.
He'll be all right then.
Yeah, it looks like he has a good secondary coach. So that makes me feel a lot better. Let me see. Bill Sheridan is the defensive assistant. He spent 2 seasons as a linebacker coach for the UFL's Arlington Renegades. He helped lead them to win the XFL championship in 2023. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
and then you know, he was on top of that, they got Caleb Rainsaw too. And I mean, that's another cornerback who actually played pretty well too.
Oh, in the draft.
He's got experience on the slot and the outside. His 2023 tape apparently was better. He had an 86.3 PFF overall grade. Impressive ball skills in 2024. 26.1% incompletion rate. A sure tackler and a strong run defender. He could also get playing time as a box safety. So they went That's the thing I like about. That's the thing about Travis Hunter to me is you draft one player and now you have two spots you filled. Yeah, and I mean I know he's not gonna play. I mean, if it's up to him, he'd play every snap, but I don't think he's gonna play every snap. But he's gonna come in on third downs. He's gonna come in that nickel package. Like he's gonna. That's what they did with Deion Sanders. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's just kind of what it's going to have to be. I think that eventually Travis Hunter is going to have to pick a position to play full time because the NFL is just harder than the NCAA.
Maybe when he gets older.
Yeah, exactly. And it's no slight against him. Like he's a great athlete. He's super smart and he's going to be able to do that. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying at some point your body is going to start slowing down and breaking down as you get, it happens to every NFL player. And you're going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to be a full-time receiver and I'm not going to play cornerback. And maybe he goes out there as a cornerback still occasionally, just later on in his career or something like that. But I think that his future
he'll go out in special moments.
Yeah.
Hey, it's fourth down. We need to stop. All right.
Yeah. And I mean, I like what the Jaguars did too. This draft, they still had the 2 third-round picks. You just mentioned the one, the Caleb Bransaw, and then their third. We talked about Wyatt Millam a lot in all of our other episodes, and I talked about him a lot besides that. Good offensive guard, improving that interior for Trevor Lawrence. I really look at this as like they're giving Trevor Lawrence the keys, and they're like, okay, look, we got you an offensive weapon. We got you a little bit better defense too. We got you an offensive lineman that's good. Their running back they got in the 4th round. He was the 13th overall running back. He rushed for 2,000 yards in 2 seasons at Virginia Tech. He's a quick dude, averaged 18.4 yards a catch, returns too. So you got a product there, got some good linebackers. Like they improved this team. So I think that this is really a make or break season for Trevor Lawrence. I think that this is that. I mean, I know they gave him a huge contract, so they're tied to him probably for a little while longer, but like you got like 2 years, honestly, because this is the first year of the new coaching staff, right? So this year you kind of get a pass no matter what happens. Like unless it's just really, really, really bad and there's just like dysfunction and everything, then then that coach will probably go. But I don't see that happening. They look better than like when it happened to the Panthers, and that was just a disaster. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I like those. I don't think they had as good of a draft as the Titans, but
I don't think so either, actually. But not having a 2nd round pick is hard.
Their first 3 are like great picks, like all of them.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just kind of like, okay, you could have done better, probably.
Yeah. Let's see what Mel Kiper gave them.
They got a B+ from PFF, which I think is probably accurate.
Let's see.
I mean, you have to give them a good grade because they took Travis.
He gave him a B.
Yeah, so PFF gave him a B+.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, still good.
Yeah, not as good as the Titans, but still good.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Titans had a better draft for sure, but the Jags. I mean, you can't have a bad draft when you draft Travis Hunter. Let's just be real about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then number 3 overall, we had Abdul Carter to the Giants, and this was just like really. Yeah, it is awesome. Like, I mean, they're just making an amazing defensive line. Like that defensive line is nasty. And why not, right? Like, I mean, I think everybody gives them an A+ for that one pick. I don't know about the whole draft overall. Let's see what but
well, all right. Can I get into my boy here?
Yeah, please.
All right, so guys, earlier I was saying, I didn't think that Cam Ward was the best quarterback in the draft. That's because I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that I think that Jackson Dart is probably going to end up being the best quarterback in this draft.
He could be.
I love that they traded up and picked him. Yeah. Absolutely love it. Solid. He to me is the most like NFL style quarterback. And maybe more of an old school quarterback, but he can still move. Like that, I know he first of all he passed for he averaged the most long throws in college football and the least amount of screen passes. So he was actually throwing the football. He's got a great arm, great deep ball. He really reminds me of I'm a blank. Denver's quarterback.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, he reminds me of Bo Nix. Like,
yeah, I saw that a lot.
He's that type of player.
Yeah.
I mean, I would even go as far as to compare him somewhat to a Matthew Stafford too. I mean, he's got that bomb. I don't know that he's got the sidearm that Matthew Stafford does, but he can move better than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
But he's a good thrower. Like, he's an accurate thrower. I think he was like one of the most accurate throwers.
Yeah,
I think Shedeur was the most accurate, I believe. But
having Malik Neighbors there is going to be great for the deep ball. And on top of that, he doesn't have to start right away though, because they have Russell Wilson, they have Jameis Winston, so like he can sit back and really like refine that craft. And I think that's going to be perfect for him. Like trading up and getting that fifth round option for him is great, because you pretty much know this year is going to be like a blank year for him. He's not going to start. Like, and that's not against him. You disagree, but I mean, I think it just depends, because Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston are decent.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson, to me, he's old. He can't move around like he used to, and that was his game.
Yeah,
we all know like his throwing of the football is like okay. It's not great.
Yeah,
I mean, he can throw a deep ball.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
No, so I'm not saying he's great, but like I just think that having those guys ahead of him is going to be like, maybe the plan is to have him sit for a year. And I think that Brian Dable and Joe Shane are using it as kind of like, okay, look, ownership, you have to kind of wait a year because we drafted this quarterback and he needs to sit for a year.
No,
you don't think so?
No, I don't think he starts right off the get go. Like I don't think he'll start right off the get go. But I think maybe midway through the season he takes over.
Yeah,
I think he'll be ready. I think he's more ready than people think. And I think once he gets the flow of things and everything, I think he's going to start surpassing Russell Wilson, and they're going to be forced to put him in.
Yeah,
because they're going to be like, well, damn.
I think it just depends on.
The players of the Giants are not going to sit back and be like, oh, this kid, like, yeah, he's going to be practicing. If he's doing better than Russell Wilson, they're not going to sit back and be like, oh, we're letting Russell play. That's the way we're going to. No, they're going to be like, no. Malik Neighbors ain't going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, he's doing good, but, why are we, he's going to say something. He's going to be like, we need to put him in instead of Russell. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I just think halfway through the year that I think he's starting by then. I don't think he sits the whole year.
Yeah.
But the nice part is he has that option that he can sit behind for a year, and that's a good thing for a quarterback. You don't have to force him out there, which I like. That's a good situation.
Yeah, it could be something similar to like a Drake May, where they just like held him off for a little while, like until it gets bad. Like if it does get bad, if like Russell Wilson looks terrible and Jameis Winston looks terrible, then you just throw Jackson Dart out there.
I just hope they don't. I hope they don't do that. Yeah. I hope Jackson Dart outplays them and they put him out there. I don't hope that they suck so bad that they are forced to put him out there, because that's not what I want for that guy.
Yeah.
I either want him to prove that he is, or he does need to sit a year.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him go out there just because they're fucking terrible. That's not good.
Yeah.
So, but but at the same time, like what you're saying, sometimes you just throw them out there. Hey, here's some real life reps.
Yeah.
Just, their confidence has to be there in order to do that. Like, because you're gonna get your ass kicked a little bit. So,
yeah.
But I think he'll be ready. I really do. I think he'll be ready. Abdul Carter's a great ad.
Yeah. I like Cam Scatabo in the fourth round too. Like they add him with Tyrone Tracy. That's two good running backs there. So there's not going to be any pressure on the quarterbacks. They're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to be able to throw the ball. And that's the key. To be able to run the ball, you have to be able to fucking throw the ball. And to be able to throw the ball, you have to be able to run the ball. Yeah.
Number 10 tight end prospect.
Yeah, they added some great players to this team. I think that they really improved, and Mel Kiper agrees. He gave him an A-. So it was a good draft.
PFF gave them an A- as well. Yeah, I think they had a pretty good draft.
Yeah, I mean, Darius Alexander, their third-round pick that they got at the top of the third round, he was a great pick. He was the 5th-rated D tackle, and they get him in the third round.
Yeah.
He's a better pass rusher than his. It says Alexander is a better pass rusher than his 9 sacks over 5 seasons suggest, and he has the tools to continue to get better. He shoots his hands, locks out, and pushes blockers rushing the passer. He can get off blocks at the top of his rush and mix in a push-pull move. He gets upfield and redirects inside with an arm-over move. Alexander got his hands up and had 5 passes deflected in 2024. He stacks and sheds blocks defending the run, and he fights off through double teams. He can get into gaps and chases with good effort. So, I mean, that's great. That's a huge addition to the D-line there. I mean, that D-line is just going to be crazy. The D-line is going to be just so nasty. Like, Darius Alexander is going to help Abdul Carter and Brian Burns, and
it's going to be really good.
That defense is just going to be nasty. And
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It was a good draft for them. I mean, and obviously the other talking heads agree. Gave them an A-.
Yeah. I think they had one of the better drafts, to be honest.
I agree.
And
moving on, I really liked.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I really liked the Patriots draft. Moving on to them. Go ahead, please.
All right. Well, they took Will Campbell with the first pick, which is a great pick. That's the best tackle in the draft. There's I feel like drafting O-line tackles and stuff like that is very safe to pick too. Very rare that you get a bust there. But awesome,
a complete
dude.
Bust.
Gonna be great.
Yeah, what? I mean, he only allowed what I said, like a complete bust. I think that like you can get like if he doesn't work out at offensive tackle, you can move him inside to guard. Is what I'm saying. Like, so it's not a complete.
Oh yeah. I don't. There's very few. There's less busts there.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, he only allowed 2 sacks in like 2 seasons in LSU. And they talk about like how big his arms are. Dude, he's 6'6". He's 6'6", 320. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if his arms are a little short. He's huge. He's a big guy.
He's fine. He's going to be just fine. Great pick.
Absolutely. Yeah, he said Campbell is a powerful drive blocker with the core strength to move defenders off the ball. He's smooth getting set and delivers a powerful punch and pass protection. He latches on with his hands and stays in front of defenders once he's locked in. He sets high, but he's big and strong enough to anchor. At 319 pounds, he ran a sub 5-second 40-yard dash and had the second best broad jump at 9 feet 5 inches out of offensive tackles.
Dude's athletic.
Yeah, he has 32 7/8 of an inch arms, which is concerning because there are only 2 starting left tackles with arms shorter than 33 inches. Boo-hoo. But teams could bet on his ability to overcome it given his technique, mobility, strength, and toughness. Yeah, the dude's a tactician. Like, this guy's not going to be like out of position. He's not going to get fooled by tactical stuff. He's smart. He's a Patriot. We all knew this was going to be the pick. Like,
yeah, it's not.
This was a smart pick. No, absolutely not.
I do like Trayvon Henderson too. That's a good pick.
The Patriots did a great job.
Yeah, 88th percentile in the 40-yard dash, vertical jump, and broad jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, big playability. He's one of 6 running backs in the Power 4 with 100-plus carries of at least 10 yards since 2021. That's pretty big. Yeah. And he's going to help out Ramondre. So great duo right there.
Well, they have Antonio Gibson too still.
Yeah, exactly. So
now you have 3 good running backs. Like, like they can help out Drake May a lot with those first 2 picks.
That's what they're doing.
And then
speaking of helping
Kyle
out Drake May.
Yeah. Yep, big play threat, averaged 17 yards per catch. Ran well at the combine. He ran a 4.4, and that gets him to run past defenders where he gets a free release. He's an effective route runner who explodes off the line, erases the cushion with defender, and creates passing windows for his quarterback against off coverage. He makes defenders miss with his start-stop ability, and he can pull away after the catch. He can shake defenders at the line of scrimmage, and he has traits to develop as an intermediate route runner. He's an undersized receiver who primarily lined up outside, but he also worked out of the slot last season. Yeah, he's 5'11", 190, so I mean, he's not huge or anything like that, but this is kind of like the prototypical Patriots receiver. Yeah. He's kind of like the prototypical Patriots receiver, but he's black instead of white.
Yeah, but he has 8.4 yards after the catch per reception, ranked first among wide receivers in the 2025 draft class.
Dude's a beast. Yeah.
Yeah. Great weapon.
Yeah. I mean, and they need to add weapons. And getting Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia, is huge too. They improved that offensive line with that center, that left tackle.
Yeah.
Craig Woodson, I'm not very familiar with the safety they got.
He's decent.
Yeah.
3-year
starter. Yeah. 6 foot,
he's
200
got
pounds.
he earned a PFF run defense and coverage grade above 85.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got a D tackle.
And he's gonna be there with Jabril Peppers and everybody. So he's gonna be fine. Yeah. He's not gonna start anyway. So.
Yeah. And then Joshua Farmer, the D tackle they got, he's great too. 6'3", 305. He's an effective hand fighter, moves the quarterback off his spot as a pass rusher, so it looks like he's good. You got an edge rusher.
Steal.
Yep. Go ahead.
Steal in the 5th round.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, he posted a 91.4 pass rush grade and an overall pass rush win rate of 22.1%. That's freaking good, especially for a 5th round pick. So,
yeah.
I know he's a little raw, I think, but he'll be good. I like that pick. Then they got a kicker.
Yeah, Andres Borgali. Yeah, he missed a 45-yard attempt in the season, but then didn't miss again. He connected on a career long 56-yard. Yeah, so he missed that one and then didn't miss again. 70% on 50 yards or longer over his college career, and he also handles kickoff duties. So, I mean, that's a great pick. You get your kicker. I mean, the dude missed one kick last year from 45 yards and then didn't miss and had a 56-yarder.
Yeah,
great.
And he made all 62 of his extra point attempts in 2024.
Yeah, sounds like an awesome pick. That's awesome. I mean, in the 6th round, cool.
Yeah,
never a bad thing.
5 of 6 attempts from 50 plus. So
nice, perfect.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, and then you get a developmental.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, yes, some help out to help out Drake. That offensive line got some depth there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he started 29 games at SMU and 13 games at Missouri, so he's been like a starter, but it sounds like he's just kind of like a physical freak. It doesn't really have a lot on him because he's not like well known. He's 6'8". Holy shit.
He's huge.
6'8", 318 pounds. Yeah.
So Bryant also offers positional flexibility, having played more than 500 snaps at each tackle spot throughout his career. So he's played both sides. Yeah. So he's a great fill-in. If not, he may become a starter. So like I said, dude, it just amazes me as I go down through this draft how deep this draft actually was, because there's players in the 7th round that possibly could be starters in the future. Yeah. Near future.
Well, I mean, they got a long snapper too. So you get your long snapper and your place kicker. So you get those guys in the same year so they can develop a continuity together. And I mean, theoretically, those guys could play together for the next 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Panthers long snapper has been in the league for like 20 years now. And he's been with us he's like the longest tenured Panther ever. And that's what I'm saying. Like if you could get a kicker and a long snapper and just keep them together forever, they're never going to miss a kick for the most part. No. But go ahead. I know you were talking about Kobe Minor. I know you liked him.
Hold on.
The cornerback, the last pick they got.
Yeah. At Memphis.
Yeah. Run defender, 7 tackles for a loss. Yeah. Hey, he's 6 foot, dude. That's pretty big for a corner.
Yeah, he's
like good size.
182. Good size.
Yeah. Yeah, experience and mentality, push for early playing time on special teams. So, they improved their special teams a lot. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that when we were going over the Patriots when we did our episode on them. They needed to improve their special teams. I think that their special teams wasn't ranked very good last year. And let's see.
So, let's see here.
Yeah, their special team. I know the special teams was ranked 2nd last year, so now it's just going to be even better. Holy crap.
So in 2024, let's see, his defensive grade was a 72.1. His tackle was a 65.2. Pass rush was 87.7, and his coverage was a 70. So pretty solid. He had 4 tackles, 4 total tackles. I think. Wait, is that 4? Well, he had 2 sacks.
Talking about Kobe Minor still.
Yeah. Tackles, I'm sorry. He had 35 tackles, 6 assists. He did miss some tackles, but I mean,
Yeah.
53.8 reception
and on
rating.
Pro Football Focus, it says that he allowed a sub 55% completion rating in each of the past 2 seasons, 2023 with Indiana and 2024 with Memphis, and he forced 9 incompletions with no interceptions across those 2 seasons. So it sounds like he was a pretty solid corner. I mean, he might work his way into actual playing time.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he's going to be actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a good pick at 7.
I agree.
Like a really good pick at 7,
round.
I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
totally
they had a pretty good draft.
They did. Yeah. Patriots look good.
Let's see.
I think they improved a lot.
rated them an A. So they got an
let's
A.
See. And ESPN, Mel Kiper gave them an A-. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, good job all around. Good job, Patriots.
Yeah.
And let's go to the Browns finally.
How long way to go still, but,
G can get into them a little bit. I mean, the first pick they made, you can't be mad at Mason Graham. Like that defensive line is going to be nasty.
I love Mason Graham. I'm a Michigan boy, but
yeah, no,
but you could have
he's going to be great there next to Myles Garrett.
Yeah, but you could have had Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah,
but whatever. I mean, I do like the trade. The trade was a good trade still. So like,
yeah, absolutely. Getting another first round pick next year is huge for them. Like that's gonna, like you could go and get your quarterback next year. I mean, you got Shedeur anyway, which okay, you got him super late, and you also got Dylan Gabriel, which it kind of, in my opinion, is a waste of a draft pick in this draft.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah, like why not just pick Shedeur with the third round pick instead of Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah,
if you're going to pick him
I'm sorry,
in the 5th
but Dylan
anyway.
Gabriel is not going to be it.
No,
like
probably not.
I could be wrong. I could be eating my words, but just Dylan Gabriel does not seem like an NFL quarterback to me. I mean, he's a good college quarterback. I know nothing against him, but I just dude, like
he was he's projected as a backup. Every analysis was like he's going to be a backup. Like he's not that great.
Took the risk of not getting Shedeur Sanders and not getting another quarterback because I mean they picked in the 3rd round and they took Gabriel over Will Howard, over Jalen Milroe, over Quentin Ewers. I mean, we're talking about a lot of good quarterbacks in there. Shedeur Sanders being the number 2, if not, well, I think he's number 3, but or number 2, but but either way, but like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm just confused. I'm baffled by it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Just the combination of their picks like that. That is the confusing part.
Like I feel like anything, it should have gone the other way. Like Shedeur first, then Dylan. But why take 2 quarterbacks? Like why take 2 quarterbacks? There were so many good players still available because they took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You could have got
in this draft, you drafted
talent.
2 quarterbacks, and you spent spend the 3rd round pick on Shedeur, and then in the 5th round pick, you could have got better play. Like I'm sure there was good players still available in the 5th round. And the crazy
they got
thing
the best player available in the 5th round, but
absolutely,
I don't know how that happened.
But but that's what I'm saying. Like if you pick Shedeur on that 3rd round pick instead of Dylan Gabriel, then in the 5th round, you could have got a better player for value wise for the team rather than that. And Shedeur was their last pick of the draft. They didn't have a 6th round pick or any other 5th round picks, and he was the 6th pick in the 5th round. So that was early 5th round. I just don't, and they traded up to get him. So it's I don't really understand the whole thought process behind everything. I mean, I like the draft for the most part that they did. You got Mason Graham, which is an amazing pickup for that D line.
Yeah, great pickup.
Carson Swisher is a good linebacker. He's going to help out a lot. Quinshon Judkins, good running back to replace Nick Chubb. Harold Fannin, I've heard good things about him. He's 6'3". He was the 7th ranked tight end. You got him in the 3rd round. He led football in receptions and yards in receiving yards in 2024. So they did a lot to improve it, but then it's just like 3rd round pick, Dylan Gabriel, 4th round pick, another running back. So you have 2 good running backs now. You have Dylan Sampson, who led the SEC in rushing yards per game at 114 yards and rushing touchdowns. He had 22 rushing touchdowns. He's a threat to pull away. So you have a good running back room now. You just replenish that running back room. But you have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Like, not only does it not make sense for them to get Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur in the order they got him in, for one thing, because you could have switched those guys. If you would have told me that they got Shedeur in the 3rd round and then they got Dylan Gabriel in the 5th round, I'd be a little bit happier with that.
I wouldn't be as baffled.
Yeah, like that would at least make a little bit more sense.
But like, instead they're like, nah. If you go back and look, like 5th round, right? When after they, like, what they could have had. All right, I mean, Braden Swinson, Ty Hamilton, Shamar James. Let's see. There were a lot of good guards. There were still some good safeties out there. There was Elijah Roberts. There's still some good edges out there. Some linebackers out there still. Mitchell Evans,
guard. They needed to improve the offensive line. I mean, there's a million other things that they probably could have got a better.
You could have got an O-line to protect your 3rd round pick, aka I mean, I don't know. They probably, in my opinion, as far as Shedeur dropped, I mean, you might have been able just to keep letting him drop.
Sure. I mean, they didn't.
How many more quarterbacks needed? How many more quarterbacks needed or how many more teams needed a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, Steelers. I agree, and they traded up to get him. Yeah, and they traded up to get him. So it's like you traded up to get him. That was your last pick of the draft, and it just the Browns are the Browns. As good as they can be at moments, the Browns are the Browns. Let's just be real about it.
But and then the other thing I'd like to say too is, like, if you knew that this Shedeur thing was going to happen, why would you take Gabriel at 3?
I agree.
You could have got Gabriel in the 5th round probably. So why not take somebody available in the 3rd round, and then you could have still got Shedeur later on? Like, I'm baffled. It makes no sense to me. Maybe I don't understand it because I'm not in it, but I don't really think the Browns had that good of a draft if you go and look at it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 3rd round pick, so the 3rd round after Dylan Gabriel, Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia that the Patriots got. We just talked about him. He was the best center in the draft. He was the 1st ranked center by ESPN. He was 42nd ranked overall, and they got him at 95. So you could have got a good center for whoever was going to play quarterback, even if it ended up being Joe Flacco or Mason Rudolph, or not Mason Rudolph. I keep wanting to say that. Kenny Pickett.
One offensive lineman.
They could, and they could have got Xavier Watts, the safety from Notre Dame. Great safety. 4th ranked safety. Like, that guy was great. Jalen Smith, the cornerback out of USC, they needed another cornerback. Caleb Rogers, the Texas Tech offensive tackle. He started 52 games at both tackle spots and only 3 games at guard. He's likely to play guard, but he's 6'5", 312. And then the Raiders got that, and they also got Charles Grant, the offensive tackle from William & Mary, who is the 8th rated tackle. Like, there's so much more they could have got that, like Savion Jones, the edge rusher out of LSU, they needed edge rush help. Like, it just doesn't, I mean, they don't need edge rush help because they have Miles Sanders and you added Mason Graham, but like, you need another running mate for him. Why not get this guy 6'5", 280, powerful edge rusher who can complement Myles Garrett's kind of more speed-based game? I mean, it just, the list goes on and on about players that you could have got in the 3rd if you would have just waited. The Browns are just going to brown. Like I said, I don't think there's anything else to it besides that.
I mean, they've been this way for years. Judkins pick was good. That was a good pick. I
agree. I just think that totally ruins the draft. And the crazy thing is they got an A+ by Mel Kiper. Only A+ he gave out.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, PFF gave him a C+, so that's like the biggest grade difference we've had so far.
Yeah.
I'm leaning with PFF on that one.
I agree. It says the main reason, he said the other main reason I gave the Browns an A+ shouldn't be a surprise. They got Sanders at 144.
So
he was the number 5 prospect in the clear QB, and he said he was the clear QB1. But this is also from the guy that said that he would retire if Jimmy Clausen wasn't a starting quarterback in the NFL, and he has yet to retire because Jimmy Clausen was never a good quarterback in the NFL. So don't really trust Mel Kiper too much, but I like to just bring his grades in here because it gives you a good point to talk about because of how bad it kind of is sometimes. So anyways, with that, let's move on.
Like one of the most, talked about in mock draft, which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's never right. He makes total garbage takes most of the time. Like it really is crazy how off his takes can be sometimes. I don't think that there's I'm sure there's guys that he's been like, hey, this guy's going to be good. He's going to be a little bit of a late round pick, and we're going to, be like, okay, yeah, he was good, and that was right. I'm sure there's plenty of people that he is right about, but he also gives opinion on a million people. So it's like, of course he's going to hit on a couple of them because that's just how it is. There's so many players that get drafted that, of course,
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the Raiders here. They got Ashton Genty. This is like another pick that everybody knew was going to happen. I feel like the first 6 picks kind of went how we thought they were going to go. They actually did. Honestly, if you really looked at how all the mock drafts went, it went Cam Ward 1, Travis Hunter 2, Abdul Carter 3, Will Camber 4, Mason Graham 5 to the Jaguars initially, and then 6, Ashton Genty to the Raiders. So, they were last in the NFL in rushing yards last year per game. So this is no surprise. We covered the Raiders in our series before the draft, and their running backs were terrible. You bring in the second place Heisman Trophy player. Best running back in the nation, 3rd overall player ranked on the big board here on ESPN. Phenomenal pick. He's going to help out that whole offense. He's going to help out Geno Smith. He's going to help out the receivers. He's going to help out Brock Bowers, take a little bit of heat off of him. Because now you have to respect the run game. Instantly, it instantly transforms that offense. As soon as they drafted him, you have to approach the Raiders in a different way. I don't even know how he's going to be necessarily used because he can be used anywhere. But that really just totally switched up their whole offense.
He's an every down back.
Absolutely, he's everything back. He does it all. He does it all well. He would have won Heisman any other season.
Yeah, he would have. And they won. They got Jack Beck out of TCU. He's going to be a good receiver.
Yeah.
He's excellent. Excellent hands. Mm-hmm. He dropped 1 pass in 2024.
Yep.
Averaging 2.44 yards per route run. He had 1,034 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just the 5th player in TCU's history to record 1,000-yard receiving season, and he was the 2025 Senior Bowl MVP. His focus and hand-eye coordination are outstanding. He rarely drops a ball and makes contested catches. He runs hard and breaks tackles after the catch. I think it's actually Besh.
Yeah, it is Besh. That's right.
Yeah. Besh tracks the deep ball, and runs well enough to make some plays downfield on tape. He's a zone buster who settles into windows and presents the quarterback with a big target. Yeah, he's 6'1", 214. And I do want to mention, too, this is the brother of Tiger Besh, the LSU receiver, I believe, that died in New Orleans. So, I loved hearing all that. It's crazy to hear all the tragedy that a lot of these new NFL players go through to get here. And I know that he wears number 7, I believe, for his brother. So, adding him to this offense is great. They really improved that offense in just 2 picks, running back and receiver. Cause now you have, what's his name? The receiver for the Raiders. Why am I blanking?
They got Bowers.
No, I know Bowers. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the actual receiver they have. Pulling it up. Jacoby Myers. He is their slot receiver. So, but that still gives them another option there. Like him, Bowers, and Besh. It's great offense right there. That's perfect. And Ashton Genty, of course. I love the Darian Porter pick too. They did a great job there. Cornerback at Iowa State. He was a good pick. He's 6'3". He's huge. 195. So he's a little slender, but I mean, still 6'3", huge. He's a special teams player too. He blocked 4 punts and 1 field goal attempt. He moved from receiver to corner in 2022 and didn't start at cornerback until last year. So that's awesome. He has rare upside. He had the 3rd fastest 40-yard dash, regardless of position. Ran a 4.3 flat. Dang. Yeah, Al Davis loved that pick from the grave.
Yep.
He reads the quarterback. Yep. Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant back-to-back picks, literally the 34th and 35th pick of the 3rd round, improving that offensive line. Their left tackle is a free agent after this year, so one of these guys could replace him. Another receiver. You mean, no, this isn't Drake May. Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah, and then Deontay Thornton, the receiver from Tennessee, he's 6'5", 205 in the 4th round. So, you add a little bit of a different look there as a receiver. He's a big target, catches passes away from his frame. So that guy looks like a great addition. Yep.
For 2 picks in a row.
Yep. Tonka Hemingway, love the name. He's awesome. 6'3", 284. He's an undersized defensive tackle, so it sounds like he might be kind of like a more athletic kind of interior guy that can move around.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
Oh, did you say anything? The guy from Tennessee, the receiver?
Yeah.
Dude's nasty.
6'5". He's huge.
200 pounds and ran a 4.3.
He ran a 4.3?
Watch out. Yeah.
Jeez.
4.3, dude.
Dang, yeah, that's 200 crazy
pounds.
shit.
Watch out.
That's nuts,
that
dude.
Right there is scary.
Yeah, that's like DK Metcalf on crack.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's a big target right there.
Yeah.
And a fast one.
Yeah. Well, and then they got Tommy Mellott too. He's 6 foot, and he was actually a quarterback. He finished his college career with 3,523 rushing yards and 5,000 passing yards. He was an inconsistent passer, but he is an explosive runner. I mean, I don't know. He got announced as a receiver. I don't really understand that. I thought maybe like a running back. So yeah, I don't know. Drafting him this season, that's kind of the. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like the biggest question mark. It sounds like he would have been like a undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
he was the ranked 299th overall rank on ESPN. So like, you could have got this guy as an undrafted free agent. Instead, you picked him.
I like him though.
Whatever. Sure. Yeah, no, it's an interesting pick. Yeah, and then but then they get Cam Miller, the quarterback, in the 6th round, literally 2 picks later, and he's a quarterback, but he's a 2-time FCS national championship quarterback from North Dakota State, 2-time team captain, 45-11 record as a starter, gets the ball out quickly. This guy looks like he could be the steal of the draft. I mean, this guy could just sit behind Geno Smith and just sit there with Pete Carroll. I mean, if there's anybody that I trust to develop a late round quarterback, it's fucking Pete Carroll. I mean, hello, Russell Wilson. Yeah. So, that's a great pick there. And yeah, the Raiders did a good job. Let's see what the grade is here.
I got an A.
Mel Kiper gave him a B.
I got an A.
Yeah. I don't really understand because he says like their needs were running back, offensive line, receiver, cornerback, linebacker. Running back was their 1st pick, receiver was their 2nd pick, cornerback was their 3rd pick, 2 offensive linemen with their other 3rd round pick. Like and then they just didn't address running back until the very last round. So maybe they get knocked down for that. Like, get out of here. I mean, they could have got Shadur and sat him. So like that maybe is something that like Mel Kiper is just being whiny about, but like, come on, dude. That was a great draft. They literally like, you can't name all of these needs. And then they're like, okay, cool. We hit every one of those needs and you still give them a bad grade. Yeah. Not a fan.
No.
Yeah. So, all right. Going to the next pick. 7th, the Jets. Yeah, Armand Membo.
That good pick. Tackle. One of the best tackles in the draft.
Dude, he ran a 4.9 140 at 332 pounds. That's crazy.
Dude, he's a hoss.
Yeah, he is. I mean, 6'4", 332. He's a good, and he's smart too. He knows what he's doing. This was a great pick by the Jets. You know, a lot of people had the Jets kind of all over the place, but when you're all over the place, I feel like the safest position you can go is offensive line. And they get the number 1 overall rated offensive tackle on ESPN at the 7th pick. So that's great value there too. This is going to hold the Jets down for a long time on that right side, and he can even transition to the left.
It's going to help your running game, and it's going to help Fields. So.
Yep, absolutely.
And then you went and go get Mason Taylor, one of the top tight ends in the draft. Yep, 2,300 snaps across 3 seasons.
Yep, 6'5".
He doesn't turn 21 years old until May.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. He wasn't overly impressive across those 3 seasons, but he has enough traits to get it excited about this ability to continue to develop into a more productive player in the NFL. So,
yeah. I mean, he was the first 100 reception, 1,000-yard tight end in LSU history. So, every tight end that's ever came through there has never done what he did. And so I think that's huge. I mean, part of that is because they have amazing wide receivers, and we all know the receivers that came out of LSU.
He's a good blocker too.
Yeah. I mean, he's Jason Taylor's son, so you know he's going to be disciplined. He's been around this his whole life, so he's going to come right in, and he can. I think that this is going to be like a day 1 starter for them, and it's going to give Justin Fields a nice safety blanket. That's a great pick. And then Azareye'h Thomas, I believe is how you say it, the quarterback out of Florida State. Yep, great pick there. 6'2", 197. He's a taller press corner. He performed well at the Senior Bowl. High ceiling. Yeah, long and strong, runs well enough to stay in phase. He gets his eyes on the quarterback and breaks on the ball quickly. His hands are big and his body control is excellent, which helps him make play on the ball. So they needed to replace DJ Reed because they lost him to you guys. Great pick to replace DJ Reed. You know, he's not going to be the number 1 guy because they have Sauce, and this is a great addition to that defense.
Yep. He's going to be a press and he's going to play man. I mean, we're talking, he's going to play man. We're talking about Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. And then this pick was kind of a Jets pick. The Arian Smith, receiver out of Georgia, he was the 29th ranked receiver, 257th ranked overall, which I believe is undrafted. He's a lean receiver who is plagued by ugly drops, but he did average 17 yards a catch. So he had an outstanding combine workout. Speed?
Yeah, he's explosive.
Okay, yeah. He explodes off the line, eats up any kind of cushion, and runs past defensive backs when he gets a clean release.
Yep. He's a Jackson Wing.
Rest of the deep ball. He's a threat with the ball in his hands as a rusher, averaging 11.6 yards per carry. Finds pocket in the zone. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a terrible pick, but it's just he was not ranked well. So you probably could have got him way later on. Yeah, so you get a little bit – but you get a little ding on that in my mind. But, yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Like, if you like someone, go get them.
Yeah. I think that's just that was their I like him, we're going to take him.
Yeah. And then Malachi Moore, safety out of Alabama. Him. Yeah, it's a good pick, 5'11". Yeah, he's fluid and quick enough to shadow slot receivers. He's quick to trigger, closes well, big hits, gets to depth and reads the quarterback when he lines up his linebacker, tracks the ball well. It seems like he's a pretty good pick. And then
he's a Swiss Army knife.
Nice. Always a good thing to have, and I think Aaron Glenn will be he can work some good stuff with him. Then Francisco Muigoa, linebacker out of Miami. Again, this is a guy who was ranked pretty bad, ranked 252 overall, 21st ranked linebacker, getting him in the 5th round. I mean, the 5th round is kind of like, I don't really care about what your overall rank is. If you like someone, go get him. So, yeah, that's fine with me. He led Miami in tackles each of the last 2 seasons.
He also had 46 total pressures.
Nice. Yeah, he had 11 tackles for a loss last year, too. He's quick enough to beat blockers. I mean, this sounds like an amazing pick. I don't know why this guy wasn't ranked very good. If he led the team in tackles at Miami, I think that's a pretty good place to lead in tackles. A good motor, read the quarterback in coverage. Like, how is this guy ranked so bad and fell so far? It sounds like he's pretty solid. There's got to be some flaw in his game.
He's going to be all right.
I was gonna say maybe he's slow, but it said he's quick enough. So yeah, I don't know. And then
I think it's
adding,
just he's raw. He switched positions. So I think
okay.
it's one of those things.
Okay.
Tyler Barron's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back Miami picks. Literally a couple picks
he
away from
recorded
each
10
other.
sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 28 hurries in 2022, finishing the season with an 84.4 PFF pass rush grade. So
okay. Yeah, it looks like the Jets got a lot better.
Yeah, we got a B+ rating from PFF.
Okay. Let's see what we got here from good old Mel.
Oh, Mel Kiper.
He gave him a B.
Mel Kiper, you suck. Nah, B's pretty good.
Yeah, B's
all
okay.
Right,
That's okay.
You're going to lead this one off because, it's your team. But I called this pick, y'all. I nailed this pick.
He nailed this pick. He talked about it a little bit before the draft when our pick was going on. We were waiting for it to come down. The Panthers get Tatoria McMillan, I believe is how you say it. Tatoria.
That's how you say
it. And he wants to go by T-Mac. He is also, one of his nicknames is Nalo. It's negativity allows loss. I can't remember exactly what it was, but Nalo is a nickname he goes by. I didn't want this to be the pick. I will say that I'm not mad at this pick. I like this pick. You can't go wrong with this guy. I just thought that there was something different we could have gone with. Again, love the pick though. 6'4", 219, the number one ranked receiver.
And there was only like one other receiver that they were like debating for number one. So like he was pretty solidified as the top receiver.
I mean, and he's productive too. 1,300 yards in back-to-back seasons. So you know that he knows what he's doing. And on top of that too, he was all they had at Arizona. Like you knew the ball was going to him and he still got it. I heard them say on draft night that he has vice grips for hands. That's all I need. That's all I need to know. Like you tell me he has vice grips for hands, I'm cool. Like that's great. Like I want to see how big his hands are. I wonder if there's anything for that because
you can probably pull him up. I'll pull him up. Hold on.
Yeah, see if you can find that because I'm very curious. I'm gonna look too. But yeah, anyway, I love that pick. Go ahead.
He had a receiving grade of 85.8.
Sweet.
He only had a drop rate of 7.7, which is phenomenal. Contested catch rate was 60%, dude, on contested rate. All right.
Yeah.
Grade versus man coverage was at 89.1. Shitting on man coverage.
Yeah.
He only had 7 drops. He forced 29 missed tackles, which was good for third. 12 deep catches, 21st. Let's see what else. Contested catches, 18, which was 7th. Let's see. Slot yards, he had 452. Screen yards, he didn't do many screens. Deep yards, he had 472. 13.7 was his average depth of target, and 5.1 yards after catch. I mean, he's just a good. And he played 12 games in 2024, 13 in 2023, and 12 in 2022. Consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, 84 receptions.
Yeah. I love the pick. I mean, like I said, it wasn't necessarily who I wanted because our defense was so bad. But you can't be mad at getting the number one receiver, helping out Bryce Young. Can't be mad at it at all. I love it. I think it's going to really transform that offense. I think that Dave Canales has a history of working with bigger receivers like this too. I mean, he did great things with Mike Evans in his one season as the offensive coordinator with Tampa Bay. So, I mean, and this just buys in more to Bryce Young, which I think is what you need to do. At this point, you need to surround him with as many weapons as you can, and we really need to see what we have because we thought we had a better look at him last year, and then he came out and he shit the bed. Then he got benched, he came back, and he looked better than ever. So hopefully he can continue to build on that. I think he will. It looked great. He had his confidence back. Adding to this offense is never going to be a bad thing. We're going to run the ball a lot. And he's a great blocker too. That's another big thing. I mean, the guy's 6'5", 212. He's going to probably add some weight. I wouldn't be surprised if he probably ended up playing closer to like 220 at the very least. I don't think he's going to add a lot of weight, but he's going to change a little bit. He's going to get a little bit bulkier. So he might
And as much as you didn't want it, and you were like, oh, our receivers are good. Nah, like you needed receivers.
Sure. Yeah. I just liked our young guys. I just wasn't mad at
I know, but you could get better. Yeah. And in order to get Bryce Young better, you got to get better. And I think this move solidifies that. Like now, absolutely. Bryce Young has some serious weapons.
Yeah.
Not just old weapons. He's got serious weapons.
Yeah.
And you've got some younger guys that are still developing that will probably end up being, they could be a 3. They could be, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you needed another.
Well, I was just talking about this on the Panthers fan page earlier. I was talking about how like our receiver group has been such a terrible position for so long. I mean, going back forever, Cam never had a good receiving group. His best receiver was Greg Olsen. I mean, we tried with Kelvin Benjamin and that didn't work out. So I think that like the Panther fans that are really against this pick are just like having PTSD for Kelvin Benjamin because it was kind of similar. I mean, Kelvin Benjamin was way bigger though. He was like 230. Almost 240 when he like first came in the league. So he was way bigger and you could kind of see like little glimpses of like the issues that he would have. So I don't think it's going to be an issue with Tatoria. And on top of that too, like we didn't really know this until after the draft, but T-Mac said that him and Bryce have been working out together pretty much all offseason anyway. So they already have a jump start on their chemistry. Like, I think that this is going to be instant gangbusters. I think that there's a lot of people that are thinking, Cam Ward, Ashton Genty for offensive rookie of the year. I think that he has a legitimate chance to be the number one guy because you look at our offense and we haven't had a number one guy for so long. And now we have this guy. Like the biggest thing is we're going to ask him to do kind of the same thing that he did in college. Everybody knew the ball was going to T-Mac. They knew the ball was going to him because they had nothing else. We do have other options. So I think this offense can be pretty nasty if it really works out. But the ball is going to go to this guy. So good luck. Good luck to the rest of the NFL. You're going to need some help with this guy. He's going to be a beast in a couple of years. He's going to really be a monster. On top of that, you add the rest of our offense in, and I think this can be a amazing offense to really see grow together. They're all so young because T-Mac's only 22. I can't remember how old Bryce Young is, but I don't think he's very old. Xavier Leggett,
like 20, 25 or 26.
Yeah, exactly. Xavier Leggett, I believe, is only 22, 23. Yeah. Jalen Coker, I know, is really young. I think he's 22. Jatavian Sanders was 20 when we drafted him, so I think that he's just now turning 21. So, that whole offense has such an opportunity to grow together and really flourish. I mean, Chuba Hubbard's not even that old. I think he's like 27, 26, something like that. And then we got Jonathan Brooks to back him up. Yeah, and we also got Trevor Etienne, who I love. I like that pick a lot. I did a little bit of work for Pro Football Focus to try and be kind of a part-time employee for them. And I did that. And I did actually some game film and Trevor Etienne was on it and he looked great. I remember seeing him and I recognize the name, because he's Travis Etienne's brother. So I recognize the name. And I mean, of course he's at Georgia, so it's a big name and everything. And I just liked him. It says that he runs behind his pads and accelerates through the line as an inside runner. He makes late cuts between the tackles and makes defenders miss in space without losing much forward momentum. He ran well at the combine and is a threat to rip off long runs when he gets a crease. He flashes as a route runner and is dangerous after the catch. He follows his block and explodes up the field on screens. He's 5'9", 198. That's a solid running back. 5'9", 198. You're pretty big, actually. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big dude. And so that was ESPN and Pro Football Focus said that he's stoutly built and it showed up on tape. He forced 30 missed tackles on 126 attempts. Despite missing various points through the season with injury, he still managed to rush for 9 touchdowns and only fumbled once. He's a power back. He's a short yardage guy. I think that's something that we really needed. That's a huge addition right there.
Can't be mad at
between that first round pick and that fourth round pick, we had 2 good defensive ends go. I know that G's going to be a little jealous here because he wanted some defensive ends, but we added 2 guys that I really like a lot. Nick Scourton from Texas A&M. We traded up to get him. He was the 29th ranked player on Pro Football Focus. I really like the pick. I think that he's kind of an interesting player because he played last season at Texas A&M and he played big. He played closer to about 280. He dropped a lot of weight in the offseason. He is down to about 257 is what it says on ESPN here. So, but Pro Football Focus does have him listed at 285. He's graded well on Pro Football Focus. I think that's great. He improved kind of every year. Yeah.
Pass rush grade.
Yeah. And so, adding him is great. Princely, and he's really young too. He's only 20.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. And he's a second round pick and he's only 20. That's awesome. And then Princely Umanamelian. I'm pretty sure I said his name right.
Yeah.
Another good draft pick there. They're different kinds of players.
He was Princely number 50th overall.
Yeah. And we got him in the third round at the 77th pick. So that's awesome. And he's 6'4", 255. He's only 23. This last year on Pro Football Focus, his overall grade was a 91.1. So that is awesome. And like I said, they're a little bit different. So he's 6'4". They're both 6'4", but one of them is going to be outside linebacker and one of them is going to be more of a hand in the ground rusher. I believe they intend to use Nick Scourton as more of a hand in the ground rusher at first because that's kind of more of his position. And then Umanamelian is going to be more of the outside linebacker that can kind of drop back into coverage a little bit too. So that's going to be great. Lathan Ransom, the Ohio State safety we got. He was the leader of the Ohio State defense. I mean, and that defense was good. He's a 5-year player. I believe he started for all 5 years. I'm not 100% on that. I know that he played for 5 years. Okay, so a 5-year starter. ESPN says he reads the quarterback, tracks the ball, and times his hits well when playing high. He's fast and strong enough to compete with tight ends in coverage. He's quick to trigger and takes sound angles on breaking passes. Yeah. He's an aggressive run defender who shoots in the backfield and made 9 tackles for a loss last year. He fills gaps and meets backs in the hole when he plays in the box. He's a big hitter and punches the ball out. He forced 3 fumbles. Awesome. Graded out at 82.5 on Pro Football Focus. I love the pick. I think that I think the Panthers knocked it out the park. Pro Football Focus said that just adding to him. But his profile says he has tenacity and physicality in spades, great eyes, his recognition and anticipation fuels his decisive closing ability. He trusts his instinct and is always around the ball, delivers hits with authority and is disruptive over the middle, downhill aggressor playing the run, always looking to punch the football out. The cons are he has trouble mirroring breaks and middling bursts to make up ground. He's not very fast and he can struggle tackling in open space, but that's fine. Like those are things you can fix.
Are all, yeah. Well, and your defensive line will help that anyway.
Yeah. And speaking of the defensive line, our next pick was a D tackle out of Florida. He's a huge guy. I'm pulling him up right now to see what his actual size is.
He posted an 80.9 run defense grade.
That's great. Yeah. He's 6'6", 328. He's a nose tackle, which was what we needed. Like you're 6'6", dude. You're gigantic. That's humongous.
Huge.
That's great. I can't be happy enough about that. Like he's just a run stopper. He's a plug guy that's just going to be up there. Says he shoots his hands, overpowers blockers one-on-one, and sheds blocks in time to make plays. Strong enough to hold his ground when he gets double teamed, and he keeps his pads down. He's quick for his size, and he can slip blocks. He's a powerful bull rusher, pushes the pocket, and has the ability to get off blocks late and get his hands up. Him next to Derek Brown with Ashawn Robinson is going to be awesome. And with Nick Scourton, Princely Umanamelian, the guys we got in free agency.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, the defense just totally. I mean, I think that the NFL is really going to see a completely different defense. I think that if all goes right, I think Ejiro Evero is going to be looking for as a head coach position this next year because I think that he can really turn this defense around. We've invested a lot of money into this defense. We've invested multiple draft picks into the defense. I think that he can really turn this defense around.
Yep.
And then for Yeah, we finished out with offense, which is cool. Like I like that. I think there was a great mix of defense and offense. You know.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
just
like
think
Mitchell.
that it was good.
Mitchell Evans is a good pick. He's definitely more of a pass catcher than he is a blocker, but he's a good pass catcher.
Yeah.
He's big too.
Yeah, he's huge.
So that's good. And then I like Jimmy Horn. I think Jimmy Horn, he got overlooked honestly because of Shador and all that and Travis Hunter. But I think Jimmy Horn's actually he'd make a really good slot receiver. So
yeah, and I mean I've talked about it in the other picks and everything. His overall rank was 310, so he was definitely listed as like an undrafted free agent. But I like that pick a lot too. Like he ran fast. He had a 65.1 receiving grade last season, so it wasn't great, but he averaged 11.9 yards per reception. So he's just that speed dude. Like he's just trying to get over the top of you, and that's great.
He's faster. His 40 time wasn't like that great, but he plays faster than that. So his game speed's better.
And he's a young senior too. He's 22, almost 23 as a senior, so that's cool. Like he's experienced at the very least, so I like that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean he's gonna have a shot.
Yeah. I mean, we focused on guys that just have like a specific, like they're there for a specific thing later in the draft, which is what I like. Like Mitchell Evans is just there to improve our tight end room because we have a really young tight end room. Jimmy Horn is there. He's a good returner too. That was a part of his game that I remember. So,
he could be a good special team too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we improved our special teams. And he's also a speedster too. So, we could bring him in every once in a while and just be like, hey, you're fast. Go out there and be fast. Never a bad thing to do that. So I think that we really improved. Pro Football Focus gave us an A+. Awesome. Cool. I'll take it. Like, I don't really disagree. I think that it could have been a little different, but like, I love everything about it. Good old Mel though. So A+ from Pro Football Focus, C+ for Mel Kiper here.
Oh man, he don't like Panthers.
Yeah, he says it's because he projected us to take Jalen Walker, and he thought that it was a reach for T-Mac. And it's like, it's because T-Mac doesn't generate a lot of separation because he's not like insanely fast, but he actually had like a really good grade on separation last year from what I remember hearing. So it's like he may not be fast and get away from people because he can hit that like really good break speed. But the dude I saw something that in a private workout, he ran like a 4.48 or something like that. So a 4.5. 4.5 is great for a 6'5 guy. Like, get out of here. No, not everyone's going to be Megatron. Megatron was a freak of nature. That was a 6'5 huge motherfucker that ran almost a 4.3. So not everybody's going to be
4.3.
Exactly.
He almost ran a 4.2.
Not everybody's going to be like Megatron. No. So at that size. So I'm okay with a 6. I'm okay with a 4.5. Okay. Like he's going to be just fine. And he's a smart guy. He runs good routes. He glides out there. On top of that too, good luck. Good luck catching a go ball on that. You throw it up to him. He's going to get up there and catch it. You're not coming down with that ball. He's going to come down with it. So yeah, totally improve that offense. I don't care what you say, Mel Kiper, you're wrong. Yeah, Pro Football Focus, thank you. All right, we got to kind of run through these a little bit faster here because we're just
Brent. I have to go real quick for a little bit. I can get back on though.
Okay.
But just.
Here we go. Okay. The Saints, I don't know, man. I think the Saints had an interesting draft. I haven't seen great grades. I mean, Kelvin Banks.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a C+ right now.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what good old Mel gave him. Mel probably gave him like an A+ just because of that.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see, New Orleans. He gave them a B-. He said, reach. That's what I have in my notes for the Saints. Too many reaches. I was critical of their first round.
They got
I was critical of their second and third rounds. Some of that centered on their QB approach. I had a much higher grade on Shedeur Sanders than I did on Tyler Show, who they took at 40, but I just didn't love their value throughout. On Show, are we sure he'll be the heir apparent to Derek Carr? The veteran is dealing with a shoulder injury and his status is up in the air. I understand that Show is 26 years old, but I'm not sure New Orleans can put him on the field this season and expect to win games. And really, if you're taking a quarterback in the top 40, you've got to believe you can win games with him either immediately or after he catches up to the speed of the league. I don't have that belief. I liked the selection of offensive tackle Kelvin Banks, but Vernon Broughton was my 20th ranked defensive tackle, and New Orleans took him in round 3. There are better safeties drafted available when it drafted Jonas Sanker in the same round too. The Saints didn't get an edge rusher until round 7 and didn't take a wide receiver at all. So what saves this class from a C? They added a few good players on day 3, including linebacker Danny Stutzman, who I have heard a lot of good things about. Cornerback Quincy Riley. Those are solid picks. Not stars, but solid prospects. Overall, I would have gone in a different direction if I were in GM Mickey Loomis's shoes. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. And Tyler Show, again, is 26. The dude has had multiple season-ending injuries, and it's just like, why did you pick him over Shedeur, huh? Like, what was like, this guy that keeps getting hurt and who is still a developmental piece despite being older than most of these rookies, than some of these rookies from last year. Shit, than some of these people that have been in the league for a few years. The dude's 26. Like, well, there's just not a lot of development left in him. If he hasn't gotten to the point where he's going to be like a solid quarterback at this point, what are you doing with the 40th overall pick?
Well, I think
I would have rather them take Milroe or
it's
something like pick. Actual development. It's a terrible pick.
But at the same time, like I already kind of knew that was coming. Like they that was their guy. They were interested in that.
Yeah, and I don't get it though. There was so many other better quarterbacks that you could have got that were more ready than him, or at least younger.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Typical Saints, they're a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey Loomis, he was my Assback for that episode, and I think that he just needs to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing in here that I'm like, that was a really good pick, except for maybe like, yeah, there's not really any that I see.
Kelvin Banks was a good pick. The dude's 6'5", 315. He started 42 games at left tackle. Like, he's a good offensive tackle. That's not a terrible pick, but it's like every other pick after that was just like, what are you doing? Like he said that, like in the 3rd round, getting that D tackle, that was a reach. That safety was a reach. Danny Stutzman was a great pick. I haven't really heard anything about Quincy Riley, but then you go like running back Devin Neal. Like, I don't think running back was really a huge
Quincy Riley, I think, is supposed to be pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Given the benefit of the doubt, I mean, Mel Kiper liked him, so sure. But like getting Devin Neal in the 6th round, like meh. Getting a tight end in the 7th round, good for like that's the first time you address that. You got an edge in the 7th round. Like Cam Jordan's 1,000 years old. As good as he was, like you're just not going to get through a lot with him. So I don't know. Not a good draft.
No, I think probably one of my least. The bottom half of the draft this year. So.
I absolutely agree. I don't think it was great.
Let's get to the fucking Benedict Johnson.
Benedict Johnson. I mean, as good as this pick was, it was a weird pick.
I got to talk about this, man.
Okay, let's do it.
Who didn't love Clay Matthews up there starting to draft that way? Okay, I mean, I don't like Packers, but fuck yeah, that was great. The Bears still suck. I love it. That should have me rolling. Funny. Oh man.
Yeah, I love when the like people that come on the stage troll the home team or troll anyone. It's great.
Yeah. Hey, how about my boy Terrion Arnold too going out there?
Yeah, that was great. He was good too.
That was good. Yeah, he went for it. He went in on him.
Yeah, he did. He was good. But anyway, Colston Loveland. Honestly, the pick was kind of a head scratcher. It's a good pick because he's a good player. If he wasn't, like, I don't know. I feel like there was better ways they could have gone. I guess without Ashton Genty there wasn't like much better. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it's like they just keep building around the offense and that defense is just starting to like languish,
But that defense we went over. That defense is not that bad.
It's not that bad, but like you got to still replenish it. You still lost pieces, I'm sure. At the very least, you lost depth. The defense didn't live up to what it was supposed to be last year. Like it was supposed to be this great defense, and I'm pretty sure they finished.
They had a bad offense.
Well, I know, but like still, their defense finished 12th on Pro Football Focus, so not bad. But I don't know. It was a weird pick for me. I feel like it was just a luxury pick. And when you're picking 10th overall, I don't know if you have luxury. I would have liked to see them go like a D lineman or something like that, but not the worst thing in the world.
They could have used a linebacker and a corner and someone on the defensive line. I mean, yeah. Other than that, their defense is okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they addressed a lot of the stuff that they really needed to do.
They did a lot in the off
season. Yeah, so I guess I get it. And I mean, Colson Loveland's a great pick. Like, I'm not shitting on the pick at all. Like, the guy is a beast, and he's going to be a huge asset to Caleb Williams. It's just like, and then in the second round, though, they come back and they get
Luther Burden.
Like, and Luther Burden's a good receiver, but his pro comp is DJ Moore. So now you have like two DJ Moores and Roman Dunze. And I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have multiple DJ Moores, but it's just kind of the same
who wouldn't want? I'm just saying, who wouldn't want two DJ Moores? I mean, I think. All right, so look, man, it's Benedict Johnson, okay?
Yeah,
and he's copying what the Lions would do. So he went out and got him a good tight end.
Yeah, Sam Laporta. I mean, that's the comp for Colson Loveland.
And now he's getting another. It was the comp for Colson Loveland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, and then they go out and they get another wide receiver. He's building his offense. That's what Detroit did.
Sure.
We built our offense before we built our defense.
Yeah, and maybe they trade DJ Moore if Luther Burden turns out to be good, and they trade him next year or something like that. Because he's not even that old though. Yeah, you have an option to do that. That is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to save some money, if you want to get rid of it, because he has a decent sized contract. I don't think it's crazy. He signed an extension like last season. But see, yeah,
the other thing I got too is this draft was so deep on defense, right?
True.
So
I think that's why we went offense too. Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Too. Yeah, it does.
Sense. There were only like 2 to 3 really good tight ends.
Yeah, really just 2. I mean, I like the Jets' second round pick of Zach Taylor's son, Mason Taylor. Like, that's a great pick. But really, Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren were alone by themselves at the top. Like, it was 1, 2, and then like a little bit of a drop off. I'm not trying to shit on Taylor, but like, you come back and
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, so they went offense first, because look at the rest of the draft. And if you look at the rest of the draft, I told you what they needed. They went tackle, defense or D tackle, then they went linebacker, cornerback, guard, running back. I mean,
only one running back, Kyle Mangani. But yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see them address the running back in the earlier part of the draft.
No, dude,
it was deep, but
they got 2.
I only see 1.
Oh, he's on there twice. I don't know why.
Weird.
Yeah, he's on there twice.
I got once. Weird. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's just it's not a terrible draft. Like, so Mel Kiper gave him a B+. What did Pro Football Focus give him?
B+.
B+. Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I can't be mad at the picks. It's just like, I don't know. Being an offensive coach and like just over prioritizing the offense is something that I always worry about for a coach like that. Like, the defense needs to be addressed too, because you can score 1 million points, but if you can't stop anyone, it doesn't matter. And like, the defense is good, but you need to replenish it too.
Well, they
did add.
Yeah, dude. Look, I told you they needed a D tackle. They got a D tackle. They got a linebacker. And they got a cornerback, which is all 3 spots that they needed on that defense to ramp it up a little bit. So I mean, I don't feel like.
And I mean, they did have 3 second.
I don't think they're going to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to be like good this year.
Yeah,
they're going to be okay, but I mean, I would say their draft was actually pretty good. You do 1 more year and you should be able to fill in the rest of the pieces. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of their.
I mean, I hate the Bears, but
I know.
I'm gonna get. I mean, they did have a decent draft.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the Niners here. Pick 11 with Michael Williams. Supposed to be a great defensive end. He has a lot of upside. He's a great run stopper already, and he is working up that pass rush skill. And I think that's kind of perfect for what you need on the other side of Bosa, because Bosa has that refined pass rush. Like, he's a beast on a pass rush, obviously. We all know who he is. But then you add this guy on the other side who's going to be able to stop the run, which Bosa can do too. And then he has a guy that he can learn from with Bosa too on the other side. That's great. I mean, that's going to be awesome. I think that it's a good pick. It's a good fit. Robert Saleh back as the D coordinator. It's going to be good to have him as a D end to be on that other side. They really replenished that. The rest of their draft was pretty good too. Let's see.
Yeah, Alfred Collins is going to help too.
Yeah, Alfred Collins.
He's going to help Kyle Williams. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be right there. You got Nick Martin. They needed a linebacker. They lost.
Well, and they replaced they're replacing the guys that they lost. Like, what was the D tackle they lost? I can't remember his name, but they lost a D tackle. They replaced him with Alfred Collins. They lost, like you said, they lost Greenlaw. They replaced him with Nick Martin. They lost Shavarius Ward. They replaced him with Upton Stout. They lost, like the D-line depth is replenished. Their cornerback depth is like, hopefully they get like this guy works out. Their linebacking, they always seem to find like those late round guys. And of course they got a late round running back from Oregon. So of course he's going to be a star in like week 7 when Christian McCaffrey's down for a week. He's going to go off for 257 yards and 18 touchdowns.
They shouldn't have let Jordan Mason go.
They traded him. And I didn't understand it, but he was also a little injury prone, so I don't really disagree with that. And on top of that, like this draft was so deep, and they just picked up a new guy.
Yeah, they got Jordan Walker too. I guess that's supposed to be Debo's replacement, but
yeah, sure. I mean,
he's going to be hard to replace.
Yeah, and then they replaced a safety. They got another late round quarterback to be a backup. They got a late round guard that can at the very least probably be depth. And then you get another late round receiver who's probably like a kick returner or something like that. ESPN gave him a B. Decent. Yeah, solid draft. I don't think there was anything like amazing, but like from everything I heard on this draft it was starters, not stars.
So PFF gave them a D.
Ooh, really? Dang. I'm surprised by that.
They gave him a D.
That's crazy.
Well, because I don't think they really drafted anybody incredible. They got 2 people that I really think are up there, but other than that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We'll see. Pretty wild. That's the first bad grade that I've seen.
I've seen a lot of people that didn't like the Michael Williams pick because he's like a safer like prospect because he has a good like floor. But he's just not like a good pass rusher. So I don't know. I think that there's just like a lot of people were like, they could have got Jalen Walker there, who would have been a good pick. Like there was different places they could have gone with it. I think that's the biggest issue people have. I know a lot of people like the Alfred Collins pick and like the Nick Martin pick. I like that. They like the other one, but I think that first round one is where they kind of lost a lot of points.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, and then to the fuck the Cowboys, the Tyler Booker pick. So he was the second rated guard, and he was the first guard off the board on ESPN at least. I mean, he's supposed to be great. He's 6'5", 321. He's supposed to be nasty.
Some people were like, "Oh, why would you do that?" I think I was probably. I don't see where this was really a bad pick. I mean, you had the choice of 1 or 2. They liked 2 better, and you go and you take the best tackle you can get. I mean, okay,
guard.
and you need guard. Sorry, guard you get. I mean, you need that. I mean,
absolutely.
You really need a freaking running back first, but hey, whatever.
But at that range, like maybe they were safer, like replenishing their offensive line. They really value that offensive line. I saw some crazy stat, like they've spent a first or second round pick on an offensive line on like 13 out of the last 20 picks or something like that.
Well, and they
just keep replenishing it.
They've had one of the better offensive lines too for a long time. So I mean, it's working. So I got nothing bad about that pick. I also like Donovan Uzurike out of Boston College. That's a good pick too, dude.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like a top like first round pick, and he fell there, and they got him on the 44th pick. That's great value. Siobhan Ravel, they drafted him like right before we had our pick, and I really liked that pick. I was like, damn, I really wanted him,
Yeah. We looked at him a lot when we were talking about the other teams.
Yeah, we did, and I liked him a lot. From everything I heard, it was just like he just had a bad season this year because he was hurt, but like last year he would have been a first round pick.
Yeah.
And then I mean, they did get a running back, Jaden Blue. Yeah, he's supposed to be a really good running back. I mean, Texas has just been kind of churning out these running backs. If you really look at it, we had like Bijan Robinson went to Texas. The Panthers drafted Jonathan Brooks last year, which was the year after Bijan. And then now this year, Jaden Blue come out, and he's like this other kind of running back that was supposed to be amazing there too. And they just had like a backlog of these running backs. So like none of them have amazing stats, but they all are like, these guys should be great. So good pick there. That's a good running back.
Yeah, they should be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to be decent. And with a good O-line, I mean, you don't need a star. I mean, a star would be great, but you can make do with that. Shamir James is another one that I like out of Florida. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty good. So, I think he had a little bit lesser of a year this year than he did last year, but He had 14 run stops and forced a fumble. So
yeah. He had over 1,000 career snaps. His PFF coverage grade dropped to 46.5 last season after he had a 75.2. So he just like went backwards on coverage a little bit, but he also set a career high in run defense grade. So it looks like he's kind of just like a project, but he's a 5th round pick. So it's like there's something there. They just need to refine it a little bit. And the Cowboys
he did both well. He did both well, just not at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that you just put some stuff together and he could be a really good pick. Good developmental offensive tackle, allowed just 4 sacks and 35 pressures. 3 seasons as a starter. That's a great like swing tackle guy you have right there. Another D lineman.
If somebody gets hurt, you throw him in.
Yeah, another D lineman, 6'3", 325, 70 run defense grade last season, but 22 pressures in 2024. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be all right.
Yeah, and then another running back who's more of a power back. Let's see. It says that he gained 3.24 yards after contact per attempt.
He's hard to take down.
Yeah, I want to see how big he is. He's 6'1", 230. Yeah, that's a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm not seeing anything on the D lineman. They got probably some kind of like developmental special teams guy.
Somebody they liked.
Yeah, so not bad, decent draft class. Like a lot of the things they did. Let's move on to
I like their draft class. PFF gave him an A+.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. What did let's see here. Yeah,
they really did. They really did do like pretty well.
Yeah, they got some areas of concern. Like they added, they needed another cornerback. They needed another edge rusher. They needed running backs. So they got Jaden Blue, who's talented, but he was just trapped behind a lot of really talented running backs.